Well, welcome to chapter 2 of my series of videos about my Buna tank. So in chapter 1 I talked through how the tank is set up in a little bit of detail, and in this chapter what we're going to do is go into a lot more detail about all the different components that I'm using within the tank. So if we start with the substrate, so substrate is 20 kilograms worth of African cyclic sand. This was a live sand, so that helped with setting up the tank. And again, I got that from the same place as the ocean rock, which is bought in Garden Aquatics and Pets. So the ocean rock has 50 kilograms worth of that, so that's two 25 kilogram boxes. They're the large pieces, which I'm really pleased with. Give lots of places for the Abuna to hide in. It also buffers the water, both pH and hardness, really nicely. It does dissolve away over time, but it's reasonably long lasting, and again the holes in it seem to get bigger with time, which Abuna like. To try and slow that process down a little bit, with every water change I add 2 small glasses of coral sand. Again, that's really just to buffer the water, and that happens at every water change, and then add 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda into the water before it goes into the tank, and that makes sure that we keep the pH up. So this is the overall tank. So it's a Rena tank, 120 centimeters wide, 40 deep and 46 high, holding 220 litres when there's nothing in it. Obviously I've got quite a bit of decor in there, so quite a lot of that water will have been displaced, so it's probably under 200 litres worth of water going around that tank. So I'll take you through a video of this. I've opened everything up on the tank so we can have a good look around, and I'll talk in a bit more detail about each of the things we've got in there. So the protein skimmer, this is a cheap eBay job, just an air-powered one. Really a bit of an experiment to see how effective it is in fresh water. Seems to work quite well. So the plan will be to invest in something a bit more expensive with time. Driven off a Tetra APS 300 air pump, so a reasonably powerful air pump. That's the bottom and drives that protein skimmer. Quite reasonably quiet pump, not too bad at all. At the back there's a small motor pump which is pushing water through the nitrate reactor at a fairly slow rate. So that pulls the water up through the tank, up into the nitrate reactor, so that hangs off the back of the tank. It's on a steel frame, unfortunately, probably to be replaced with an aluminium one, so we've got a few of the rust patches. I'll try and show you down the back. It's quite a deep filter, a reactor, sorry, and inside is so some ceramic media with a high surface area. And the idea is we have a slow flow rate through there, so we get anaerobic reaction in there, so that's without air, and that means the bacteria get rid of the nitrate, turn it to nitrogen. I'll talk in a lot more detail on the chapters on vodka dosing at that nitrate reactor. That's how it goes back into the tank through that channel there. So we look at the filters. This is an XP3, Reno XP3 filter. Really like this. Lots of media capacity, so about just over 9 litres in there. Really flexible, just 3 baskets. So really pleased with that, and it seems to have a really good flow rate, so pleased with that filter. I'll show the filters in detail. I'll take them apart and show what I've got inside. So heater at the back, so that's a high-door inline heater, 300 watts. Again, really pleased with this, keeps the heater out of the tank. Nice and simple to monitor, and that comes out through into this spray bar that's at the top there. So that goes to create some surface agitation there. So that's the spray bar, and then this is the 306 fluval filter. Again, a bit less flexible. I'll take it apart later, but you'll see that the chambers are set up in a certain way, so there's a bit less flexibility. Still a reasonably powerful filter, and the idea of having 2 is in case of a failure on one, and to just get a really good flow rate going through that tank, because there's a fair number of fish in there. So this is the vodka dosing pump. I'll just turn this around so you can see the actual front of it. I have it the opposite way around. The blue light's a bit annoying. So this is a Jabo DP2 filter pump, peristaltic pump. I'm only using one channel on that, as you can see. It's got a little digital controller, so I can set the dosing. Really important to get an accurate dosing and be able to do it throughout the day. So really useful piece of kit. Seems to work really well. I haven't had any issues with it. Connected up to the vodka, which is just standard cheap vodka. There's a bottle of it there. What I've done is drill a hole in the top of the bottle push the tube down into that, and then that's where it gets drawn up through the pump and into the tank, and it easily copes with the head height that I'm running there, so no problem dosing into the tank using that. Okay, so that's the dosing system. Again, I've got a whole chapter on that, so I'll talk in more detail. This is the lighting rig, so it's a full lighting rig. There are 20 LEDs on each of the tubes, so I've got 3 white tubes in there, and they run the full length of the tank. I've got a much smaller blue tube, which is just resting in between them. That's got 28 LEDs in it, and then I have a controller, which I'll just show in a second, where I control the amount of white and the amount of blue light that I'm producing. So if I just reach down the side, bring up the controller, so it's just sitting here. So this is a controller. It's a TC421. It's Wi-Fi controlled. That's why it's down the back of the tank. So I can program that from my phone, and I can control the levels in half-an-hour intervals. Again, I'll have a whole chapter on the lighting, and I'll show how I'll program that and what sort of programs I'm running on that. There's the wavemaker. So that's another Jabo W4 SW4. Sorry. Quite a small one, but reasonably powerful. This is a controller, quite a nice, neat controller. Reduces the flow rates at night, and it's got feed functions and a few different setups. Again, I'll talk in a lot more detail and show how that's all programmed up, but really pleased with that. It works really well and really improves the flow rate going through the tank. So this is the equipment list, just to run through it quickly. Got the fish tank, 220 litres. We've got 2 filters, so we've got the XP3 canister filter and the 306 canister filter. So that's chucking around quite a bit of water around the tank, so really good flow rate there. Nitrate reactor has ceramic media in it, and we've got that low flow rate pump to get that anaerobic respiration going on inside that filter. So the very bottom of it is aerobic and the top of it is anaerobic, so that works well. And then the lighting, so 174 centimetre or 3 white tubes, and a much shorter 48 centimetre blue one. And I showed you the controller, so that's the TC421 Wi-Fi programmable controller. So really pleased with that, and that's controlled off my mobile phone. So again, I'll show you the details how you program that. Other stuff in there then, so we got the Hydro aquarium heater, so that's on a 16mm hose, 300 watt. I think they do it on a 12mm hose as well. Had no problems with that at all. The wavemaker with the smart controller, so you can actually link multiple ones of those together. I've only got one in the tank at the moment, but they can be linked together, so you can sort of coordinate the flow on both of those. Didn't show the automatic fish feeder in any detail. Again, that'll be in a future chapter. Wi-Fi controlled again off the mobile phone. So I can program that to feed the fish when I need to, and you can set up feeds as you need. The 300 Tetra APS 300 air pump, which was powering the the skimmer at the time, and then we've got the peristaltic pump. So that was for the vodka dosing system. So that was pumping vodka into the tank. A really nice bit of kit, and make sure we get the dosing accurate. And then finally, the thing I didn't show, which is right at the front of the tank, is there's a small full power head which I had lying around just to increase the flow rate further again. So for the next chapter then, we're going to cover the filters in quite a bit of detail. So I'll take those apart and show you what's inside and what media I'm using, etc. I look forward to seeing you for chapter 3, and I hope you enjoy chapter 2. Take care, everyone.